Hello, I'm Aaron and welcome back to the Laststandgamers channel. So today we're talking about the railguns, both large and small variety, and in this video I'm going to be putting them to the test, seeing how well they penetrate different types of armour and giving you all the information that you'll need on the railguns to put them to good use. And of course, I'm not an expert on this and I might get things wrong, so if I do, jump in that comment section throughout this video and correct me. So let's start out. So in Space Engineers, it's not actually the gun that produces the power, it is the ammunition type. So we've got the Railgun Slug Large and we've got the Railgun Slug Small. So the Large has a speed of 2,000, we've got a recoil of 120,000, we've got explosion radius of 1, but no explosion damage, so that just basically deploys that explosion effect around 1 meter when we hit. It's got a max trajectory of 2,000 meters, max health of 50,000, so that is an insane amount of health. And what that means is it can take a lot of damage from the things it hits before that projectile disappears. Now we've got the small railgun. Now that has a speed of 1,000, so that's half the speed, and you'll notice that shortly. We've got a recoil of, I think it's 30,000, explosion radius of 0, explosion damage of 0, so we won't see any explosion effect with this one. A max trajectory of 1,400, and we've also got a missile health pool of 8,000. So that projectile is going to take a lot less damage. Well, sorry, it'll be stopped a lot easier because its health pool isn't as large. So what we're going to do is drop our light armored targets down. Actually, I'm going to show you something quite interesting first. So if you come to engage a ship quite closely with the railgun, you might notice that no damage occurs to it at all. So I'll just fire the railgun off at this close range. So we've got one block, and you'll see it passes straight through it. I thought this was quite interesting. If I actually go here, you can see it's done no damage towards this block. So there's definitely something, if you're too close to the railgun when firing, it's going to pass straight through you and cause no damage. Now if I drop the rest of these light armor targets, like so, you'll see the armor targets drop down. So we've got a 2 thickness, a 3 thickness, and a 4 thickness. Of course, we've got spacing between them. And I'm going to quickly fire the light railgun. Okay, so as you can see, it's got a little bit of kickback. Punches a nice hole through that small one at the front there. Punches a hole through this second layer. So that's 3 layers of light armor just for the small railgun. And if we have a little bit of a scrummy around here, you can see it's taken the top layer, dropping this down to 80% of armor in this area. Let's see if that main railgun's charged back up. We'll see how much light armor it punches through. I believe due to the amount of damage that it gives off, it's going to keep punching through all these layers. So we're recharged, we're firing. As you can see, we have impact. You can see the impact has actually shocked these targets quite a lot. Penetration straight through this second layer, straight into the next layer there, and straight through. So that is 10 layers of heavy armor with spacing that's gone through. That is really quite insane. So let's pop these little armor pieces back up and we'll move on to heavy armor. So popping these back up, getting the hinges activated. Now the large gun is still charging, but we'll drop down the heavy armor and try out the small gun. So once again, we've got 10 layers of heavy armor in total, but they are split into segments up to 4. So let's fire our light railgun. Okay, you see it's impacted and it's not managed to penetrate a single layer. So let's just have a quick look here. See if we've got any sort of damage. There will be some damage here, but it's not going to have dropped it too much. It's just a bit of a search game to see which block it's actually impacted. But I know it would have taken the health off one of these blocks. Oh, there we go. So there we go. It's dropped it to 51%. Let's have a go with that larger railgun. And I know these tests are not going to be exactly perfect, but let's fire that through there. Okay, you can see the impact of that shook these targets. So it's penetrated through 1, through 2. Let's keep on going. Okay, and that's where it stopped. So it's gone through 3 layers of heavy armor Okay, with the spacing between them. Let's just see if it's impacted anywhere around here. Yeah, so it's dropped this one down to 96. So it's gone through 3 layers. And 3 layers, to be honest, is the most that a lot of people put on their ship. So it's gone through all 3 of them. It's not managed to get into that 4th layer just yet. I think what we'll do is we'll push up the first 3 layers of armor there. And we'll fire it at the 4 and just see what happens. So the 4 one hasn't been damaged yet. So let's drop them back up. Like so. So the little railgun turret hasn't done much damage at all. Really not that useful. Oh, hold on. Do we need to get this? Oh, have we got a little bit of a jam on the target? Let's go and find out. I might have lowered the target a bit too much. Let's just peel off that bottom layer. When the recoil happened, it might have got stuck. There we go. So that's going back up there. Let's be ready to fire again. So have we got any damage out on that one? That is the last one. Let me just double check. Yep, that's the last one. So that's armor thickness 4. We'll lower that right down and we'll unleash the big railgun on it. Okay, and we'll also unleash the little one for good measure. So let's see what happened here. So having a look at the 4 layers, have we gone through 3? So that's it. 1, 2, 3. So that's how capable it is against the heavy armor block type. Penetrates through 3 and then drops the back layer ever so slightly. Let's just see if we can catch it. Yeah, you go. So it's dropped it down to 96. Still extremely capable. And if you're running a light ship now, you should really be in fear. So let's pop up that layer of armor. And we're going to try some of the strange armor types that I see floating around. So let's pop up number 4. If you guys want this range on the workshop as well, I might put it up. I want to do some further testing with it first. Let's drop down blast door thickness 1. So this is just a standard blast door armor. Many people use these as gates for the bases. Oh, that's not charged just quite yet. We'll fire the little one. Okay, and it looks like we've got no penetration at all from the little one. Let's double check. We hit somewhere around here, I believe. Yeah, so we dropped it down to 42. So a blast door will protect you from a small railgun at least. But let's try the big one, see what happens there. Okay, is the big one going off? Ooh, it lodged that up pretty damn hard, didn't it? So that's punched straight through. I kind of expected that because these are only a little bit better. Let's just get the heavy armor out for a second. So we've got the heavy armor block. Let's just put that in the gap there so we can measure between them. So they really ain't as good as the heavy armor blocks, these. A lot of people for some reason still think that they are. And the reason that they are better is they don't deform and they do fit in thinner shapes, but you can't do as much as you can with the heavy armor blocks. So there we go. Let's pop that layer up and we're going to go with the next type of armor. That of course is going to be gyro armor. Now gyro armor is something I really don't like showing to people, because once you see it you can't unsee it and people then start sticking gyroscopes all over their ship. Has this one recharged? Still not, so let's use our small one for the minute. The small one of course recharges incredibly quick. Well, compared to the large one anyway. And that has managed to hit one of these gyroscopes. Which gyroscope has it managed to hit? Oh, so it's dropped that down to 87. The gyroscopes are so strong just purely because they've got so many components inside them. So we'll jet back, and this one should be ready now. Okay, let's track it down as it fires. Okay, so the gyroscopes, of course, held it in place a lot better, and it didn't actually penetrate. So the gyroscope looked like it soaked up, yeah, it soaked up all the damage from the railgun. Oh god, this is not going to be good. This means that people are going to be sticking gyroscopes all over their ships to protect them. Yeah, gyroscopes are very expensive in terms of metal. But if you do layer gyroscopes behind your armor, you will be safe. We've got one more armor type that I want to test, and that's going to be the wheel armor. So for the final test, we've got the wheel armor drop down, and we are going to fire our large railgun at it. Oh, there it goes. Sent it right up into the top area, and 2 large 5x5 wheels managed to stop it from penetrating, but still this last wheel's got on 4% health. So wheel armor could be a solution as well. Not as effective as gyroscope, but I'll leave you with them figures. I've dropped the information on the 2 pads. We'll quickly go over there and I'll discuss my thoughts on the railgun for the moment. So the railgun is extremely effective, if it does penetrate through and hit some of them vital components, such as the hydrogen tanks or your cargo, then you're out of the game. To be honest, light armor ships at the moment are pretty much useless against this thing. One good shot can gut the whole of a light armored ship. Heavy armor ships, of course, can protect themselves, but once that round gets through even one layer of heavy armor, that it will do, it will gut another ship until it reaches that other side, you know, where that other heavy armor piece is. So let's wrap that one up right there. Hopefully you learned a bit from this testing video. If you did, let me know what you learned in the comment section and what you'd like me to test next. I think it's going to be artillery, or maybe the auto cannons, I'm not too sure.